Spring-summer 2012 saw Gavin Rajah revisit his origins with India's famed Pink City as his muse. His challenge was to evoke in each piece a vivid feel of the wealth of colour at the Camel Fair in Pushkar, the fragrant scent of lotus flowers, or a bright moonlit night scene at the great Rumbug Palace.
This range is inspired by Jaipur. Why that city?
Well, Jaipur is the capital of Rajasthan, and it's a very fascinating city because it's out in the desert, so there's lots of influences in terms of color and tradition. A sunset is just not an orange, it's just mixed with 1,000 hues of pink and orange and vermilion all at once. So for me, it's really about color, and I think I brought that through very strongly. It was the color.
You always have a very holistic approach to your look. So tell me about the hair and the makeup. What was your thinking behind that?
Well, the hair is flossish, but it's really inspired by that kind of bramble that you'd find in the desert. So I've just sent apart to the girls, and I put like a very kind of fuchsia-colored detailing on center part. It's the traditional kind of mark of a woman who's married in India, but I've just kind of changed it a bit. I like the color of having something kind of fuchsia pink down the center.
His couture gowns are bold and striking. The ready-to-wear collection emphasizes separates, making this a flexible addition to a woman's wardrobe. Watching the clouds of silk, cotton and tulle, we wanted to understand more of the DNA that runs through Gavin's work, and an invite to his head office was our chance.
Gav, so what was the feedback and reaction like after your Fashion Week show?
Well, it was a very amazing reaction. I mean, you know, I don't do shows that often in South Africa anymore, and the phone's been ringing off the hook. It's been great. You know, we've had so much reaction. My clients have loved the collection, so I'm very happy with it. So Joe, this is where it all would really start, is on a blank piece of paper, and I would kind of sketch exactly what I thought. And once that's done, I would kind of select a piece of fabric which I thought was appropriate from our storeroom. Obviously this is all the new fabrics for this season, but I think for what we've got for you, I have a gorgeous Italian silk.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Which I think would look amazing on you. And I think for that particular dress that we sketched, this would work amazingly well.
Without the perfect execution of a concept, fashion weeks count for little, so Gavin's process is millimetre specific.
These measurements will be censored.
Even with Joanne's slip of a figure, the material doesn't come cheap, so the design is first made in calico to see exactly how it performs.
Once this is all fine, like for instance, there would be some kind of alterations, like, you know, there's a bit of bulk here, so I would instruct the pattern makers to release some of the fabric, and so that it's far more flattering, because no woman wants excess around this part of their body.
Do you ever get to this stage in the design process and then realize that the dress wouldn't work?
Yes, and that's why this process is very integral, because you need to see how the design actually looks. One gets to see the styling, the look, the silhouette, the proportions. So yeah, quite often we chuck a lot of these babies out.
Well, I can't wait to see this translated into the gorgeous Italian silk satin.
This is a number you aren't likely to miss walking down Long Street.
Wow, it looks great. I love the way it's skimming your body. It's gorgeous. But I think you need a little bit of like pizzazz with some leather.
I love the color combinations. That's quite a nice pop of color.
Oh yeah, that's fabulous.
What I love about this outfit, it's got soul, pink soles.
That's my signature trademark, the pink soles. But I think it just works so beautifully, and I think, you know, it's about eclectic color for the season, which is lovely.
Well, I think now that I've seen the whole process evolve, I value this gorgeous dress even more. I've also heard, though, that you're doing a homeware range.
Yes, so let's pack this baby up and let's take you off to show you.
Gavin's designed interiors and luxury amenities for hotels, spas and restaurants. Now his name as a concept specialist is being applied far more personally on the home front.
Welcome, Joanne.
This is absolutely gorgeous. I can see you live the philosophy of surrounding yourself with beautiful things.
Well, I tend to do that because it's my space or my palette in which I play in.
I can see exactly what you mean about using a combination of gorgeous fabrics.
People who know me know that I really like to be surrounded by beautiful fabrics, and I wanted the same kind of feel for the homeware. So the fabrics are really, really luxurious. They're very kind of textured. I mean, I've used a lot of kind of faux fur. and beautiful kind of heavy silks. And so it's all very, very sensual. So I'm hoping that people have a really luxurious and sensual kind of experience with the homeware range.
He's curated an exhibition for Steven Spielberg, designed jewellery for the Japanese, and his diverse experience feeds into every piece.
For one of the most successful fashion designers South Africa's ever had, you didn't even study fashion, you studied law.
It was a very interesting transition from law to fashion, but I had kind of started or dabbled in fashion while I was still a student at UCT. My dad was in clothing production, and I used to get a lot of overruns from his garments and sell it to my friends at UCT. And when he had decided he was going to retire, I didn't have a supply anymore, so I ended up getting a woman who stayed about 1 kilometre away from Rez to manufacture stuff for me, and then I on-sold it to my friends. So when I finished law, I had to find something which was far more kind of challenging, and I thought, well, I like fashion, I was very good at it, you know, I progressed and I went into it, and even though my dad tried to discourage me from going into it, I thought if I was going to go into it, I was going to make a great success out of it, and I was going to treat it like, you know, a proper kind of business. It had to be sustainable and it had to be commercially viable, but it's been a huge amount of work.
Well, a loss for the legal fraternity, but a gain for the fashionistas.
Well, I've certainly had to kind of resolve a lot of fashion crimes in the country, haven't I?
Good work, Your Honour. If you saw tonight's top hat, then you could win a full set of Gavin's luxury limited edition homeware range. To enter, tell us where you saw the top hat in Gavin Rajah's story. Was it A, at his office, or B, on his daybed? SMS your name followed by your answer A or B plus the keyword TOP to 33727. That's 33727. SMS is charged at R1.50. T's and C's apply.